Okay, so welcome. Ah, damn. Okay, so welcome back to this week's episode of this podcast. Today we're going to be talking about every boy's first crush, and that's going to be at least mine. Back in the day, I grew up a little limited, and by limited I mean I grew up in a pretty decent household. That's a lie. It doesn't matter. Look, everybody talks about how their first crush is Selena Gomez, it's Harvey Weinstein, it's fucking Michael Jackson if you were molested. If you were normal, it was probably like Julianne Hough. If you don't know who she is, look her up or insert a picture here. I'll have to pay my editor, which I don't have one, so I'll have to find one on Craigslist. Hopefully not on Casual Encounters. Last time I did that, I started peeing blood red. Peeing. And but going back to the topic that I wanted to talk about today, I wasn't like most kids. I was kind of strange. It must have been because of the pedophiles that were always around me. But that being said, because my crush was not some hot blonde or some hot brunette, or if you were like a weird kid, even weirder than me, it wasn't like Michael Jackson, And for me, it was Ms.PACMAN, and I know that sounds weird, but just wait, it is. And I probably shouldn't say this online, but she's got a smoking ass. And if you saw the thumbnail, you would know what I'm talking about. Now, you might think I'm being very candid. I am. That's why thumbnails are made the way they are, so that they can tell you what the video is about. And this video is going to be all a barking spider somewhere in the attic. Wait, we don't even have an attic. But anyhow, it smells like shit. Anyhow, yeah, yes, that's what this video is about. We're talking about how much ass Ms.PACMAN truly has, and she is packing in the back department, and there's nothing wrong with saying that. Now, that being said, if I had the choice between being a billionaire, like Jeffrey Bezos, or being one of the ghosts that trails behind her, I would choose to be the ghost. Yeah, to be the ghost. Yes, that's what I would choose, to be the ghost. I would choose to be the ghost because you get to, every time some middle-aged guy who is a virgin who lives in his mom's basement inserts a coin, which is the only thing he's going to be inserting in any slot, anything that he's going to be inserting into any hole or any empty space is going to be a coin. I get to chase Ms.PACMAN. Now, just go stop if you can still watch me, or you can just listen to me. But look at the thumbnail, my thumbnail. You're gonna that's not edited. That's not edited. I didn't do some AI porn. I didn't do some cartoon porn. I didn't do some Scooby-Doo porn. And we've all been there. We've all been on Pornhub where we accidentally get a little too far and we start, going down the weird side of porn, and we stumble across cartoon porn, Teletubby porn, Scooby-Doo porn. That's probably all I can say that's allowed on YouTube, but that's exactly how if you find yourself in an arcade area where you can go play an arcade, go look at this. Go look at the Pac-Man machine, just a regular Pac-Man, which honestly, if you have the choice, and this has nothing to do with being a feminist, but the feminists are going to come after me, so I'm going to say be a feminist if you're a guy and go play the Ms.PACMAN. But in all reality, you should just genuinely just go play Ms.PACMAN because it's actually way better. Something about it. It must be all that, like I said, it must be the legs that she has on her. No, if you play Ms.PACMAN, you better not lose for a while because she's got some legs on her. And people have been passing Ms.PACMAN up for way too long. So we got to spread the word. Hashtag Ms.PACMAN is hot. She can eat all the balls she wants because she can even eat these 2 extra balls right here. And that's just what I was, just maybe don't go play Ms.PACMAN at an arcade machine because you might see me there, putting coins in, if you know what I mean. not really coins, but my 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 click, my flick, my bick, my sick, my pick, my blick. I already said that one, but you know what I mean. I'm talking about my junk, my yunk, my funk, my blunk. But no, you know, if I had enough money, I'd buy my own personal Miss Pac-Man machine, and I put my own. Sheesh, I'd have a high score. I'd never stop playing that game. All I'm saying is, I see why those ghosts chase her, and this is also what I'm gonna say. The creators of that game must have had one hand touching their body at all times while they were drawing Mrs. Pac-Man, because they were obviously a little too horny. A little too horny. And the story of Mrs. Pac-Man, the game, not really her individually, but Mrs. Pac-Man tells the story of how they met. Story. There's not that much lore in an 8-bit game like that, you know? But no, it's a fun game, and obviously as you get higher and higher into the levels, she starts running faster and faster. It's almost like she runs faster than Mr. Pac, or Pac-Man, Mr. Pac-Man, but Mrs. Pac-Man, oof, she's running. If she operated the Underground Railroads like Harriet Tubman style, she would have gotten more slaves out than she did in her prime, you know? And I'm just being... here's the thing, too. Rosa Parks wouldn't have needed to get up from the seat, because she would have never been in a bus. Because if she had those types of legs, she would have been faster than that fucking bus. Usain Bolt, he's lucky he didn't go up a woman like her, because he would have fucking